Hi everyone, and this is a very delayed review of the Ohms Electroacoustics PULA HT200. That's a mouthful. This is actually the second time I review a product from them, and well, I actually made it a point to review it. First of all, because it's going to be a quick and easy review, but secondly, because there's another IEM which has been released and been the center of a lot of hype, which is the Tropowin Mele. When I first saw it, it seemed very familiar to me. And well, lo and behold, there is definitely similarities, and I would think that perhaps it's made in the same factory as the PULAs are made, just with different specs. I've actually completely opened up an HT200, one of these earphones. I actually got two pairs to see what was the driver inside. And the driver used on these ones is very much a driver which is similar to the TRN V90, V90S, also found in the CSA, in the CSE. So it's a driver along those lines. Okay. Anyway, on to the Ohms Electroacoustics PULA HT200. This is the boxing, and as I mentioned already when I reviewed the HT100, its younger brother, definitely there was some attention paid to detail in terms of the packaging. It brings nice case. I'll open that in a second. Underneath here we have some tips which look very much like the BGVP tips, okay, and some literature. And then the IEMs themselves come in a nice case, and here we go. I mean, these things are absolutely copy-paste of the Mele, or the Mele is a copy-paste of these ones. I'm not saying this in a bad way. No, I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm not disrespecting you or anything. I'm just stating an obvious fact. The difference here obviously is the faceplate. This one here says PULA, if you can kind of read there, PULA, okay. It's an aluminum face, it's an aluminum shell, it's machined. When I opened up the other set that I have, I was able to confirm that it's machined. Two vents, one over there as you can see, one over there. The cable is very nice. I mean, seriously very nice. This is an IEM that costs around $50–55. Sometimes you can get it a little bit cheaper, and it's nice to see that they've actually taken care of us and given us a decent cable, and a good cable. I mean, it's seriously a good cable. It's nice. It's nothing wrong with it. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, fit is perfect. It fits very nicely. There's nothing wrong with it in terms of fit, and comfortable enough. They're not very heavy. The weight they have is perfect, and yeah, that's basically it. Anyway, I'm actually going to grab now the pair that I opened and that I did most of the listening to was with that pair. Sorry, 1 second, please. Okay, and like I said, I just opened them because I was just curious to see what was the driver. Here it is. Okay, exactly the same. I've maintained the cable. The cable is more than fine. The only thing that I've done differently here is I've actually used some JVC spiral dots, and if you can see there, I've changed the filter and I've used the Tantrum Tanya filter on here. Talking about what we want to know, what does they sound like? Well, they've got in standard form, and the Tantrum filter came and correct that and improved substantially the sound. In standard form, it's got a full bass, well, mid bass, with sub-bass roll-off at around 40 hertz, give or take. And then it's got the usual roller coaster of peaks, 2, 4, and then another peak which probably is more of a resonance peak because of the actual coupler itself. And I would say well, let's say it's a V signature, but honestly it wasn't the nicest IEM to listen to. It was very fatiguing. The bass was boomy. It bled into the mids. It really wasn't very nice. I'm not gonna lie to you, and in that aspect the HT200 is far superior. With the 10th stream filter changed for the original one, and with the spiral dots, the sound just changed completely. To start with, those peaks disappeared, so we have the pin again from starting at about 1K, but instead of being more pronounced, it's more subtle until about 3, where it peaks and then it comes down slightly, and then it has another small peak, and then it comes down again. So much more pleasing the way that the whole mids, upper mids and early treble is done, much more pleasing. Yes, it comes at a cost, and the cost is that it becomes more kind of, I like usually saying, a more old school kind of sound. Okay, it's not a bright sounding IM as opposed to what it was initially, but it was way too bright in the wrong places, and it made it sibilant and boring and tiring and fatiguing to listen to. And now, no, now the bass and the mids are very nice, because believe it or not, and I was actually surprised, the filter, the 10th stream filter, actually also changed the response of the bass slightly. It gave a little bit more of a boost in the bass. I'm talking maybe 1-2 dBs in certain areas, but the way the bass marries now the mids is much nicer. So male vocals are very nice, female vocals perhaps a little bit less because of that lack of brightness that we would require. But the sound became very pleasing. It's very unfatiguing. There's no sibilance, and really the only bad thing I can point towards it is that it lost that ability to maybe retrieve the finer details, but it came with a good thing with it, which is it's listenable. It wasn't listenable to before. Now it's listenable. Now it's a very nice sounding IM. Whether or not at the same price you have things which would be a better choice, well, that's down to you, but obviously you do, yes. The first choice that comes to mind, for example, is the Richo, the SG01, which when you look at the graph, you think one thing, and when you listen to them, you're like blown away, because they really are spectacular. I believe, honestly, that they are probably one of the nicest sounding IEMs under the $40, $50 mark right now. I definitely recommend anyone to actually listen to them, because you will be impressed. The same goes for the HD Sound Art Mirror, but that then again, a lot of people already know that I like that earphone. These are an alternative. It doesn't have the detail retrieval of either of those two that I just mentioned, but it's got a nice, fun, engaging, clean, fast bass. The mids are, like I said, nice. Male vocals especially. Female vocals, a little bit more recessed. Soundstage, I guess it's acceptable for the price. There is better, but it's acceptable. Basically, look, I think it's just another option. If you already have a whole bunch of IEMs and you want to try out something different and maybe do the little mods that I did, I say yes, why not get them? If not, like I mentioned, there is better options, and I don't think anyone should take this the wrong way, including Ohms Electroacoustics themselves. They shouldn't be offended by what I'm saying. That's the reality. They're competing in a very competitive price bracket, where you have a lot of really good IEMs, really good IEMs. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give everyone a little take on these little babies here, and yeah, let's see how the Mele with the graphene driver that it supposedly brings, how that sounds. I mean, in graphic terms, what we've seen, it looks really good. It looks very much like the HANA 2021. so it should play really well, but nothing like actually getting them and listening to them. Alright, anyway, thank you, take care, bye bye.